Hello everyone. Today we are going to do IXL assignment CC10. We're going to create stem and leaf plots. Let's get started. Kristen counted the number of peanuts in each bag of trail mix. So here are all the number of peanuts in each bag of trail mix that Kristen counted. They started a stem and leaf plot. So the characteristics of a stem and leaf plot are the numbers that are the stems are all of the numbers that are in the tens place in your data set. So you see we have 10, 10, then 20, 30, all the way up to 100, which got cut off, but that would be a 10 down there. So they're all filled in except for the numbers behind 5 and 6. But remember, the 5 stands for 50. So we're going to look at the back at our data set, and any number that has a 50, we're going to put the number in its ones place behind it as a leaf. So I'm looking here, and they are in order. I only have one number that is a 50, and it is 59. So that means the 50 is the stem, and we would put a 9 here. You would type it in behind the 50 for as its leaf. The next set is 60s, so we have 60, 61, and 64. I don't have to write the 60 multiple times. I just have to write the number in its ones. So as you type these in, you want to type in 0, hit a space, type in a 1, hit another space, and then type in a 4. So this represents 60, 61, and 64. Just like behind the 2, this doesn't represent a 2 and a 3. This represents the number 23 in your data set. Down behind the 80s, so this represents 83 and 86. And you can see in your data set you have one number that's an 83 and one number that's an 86. Let's do another. So we have the staff of a game show tracked the performance of all contestants during the past season. So these are all the game show scores. First number in our stem is the 20. So we want to take all the numbers that are in the 20s range. So we have 21, 21, 23, and 26. We have 4 numbers in the 20s, so we're going to write all the numbers that are in the ones place behind the 20. So I have a 1. So you'll type that in, hit a space. See how all your leaves, I want you to notice how they all line up. So I'm going to do my best to get them lined up. Yours will line up very nicely if you hit a space. Mine, because I'm writing them in by hand, might not be as lined up as well. So I have a 3 for 23 and a 6 for 26. So now I organize this data. It's 21, 21, 23, and 26. If a number repeats, you have to put in the number however many times it appears as your leaf. Now the 30s are done, the 40s are done. Let's go to the 50s. So we have a 0 for 50. We have another 50, so I'm going to write another 0. And we have a 51, so I'm going to put a 1 as my third leaf there. And again, keep them lined up. As you type them in, hit a space in between each number. Next, in a study on public parking, the Director of Transportation counted the number of cars in each of the city's parking lots. So the cars per parking lot ranged from 81 to 174. So you see our stems range from 8, 9. Now when we get into the hundreds, we use the number in the hundreds place and the number in the tens place as our stem. Leaves are only always a single digit, so it's always the ones digit. So this will represent 110, 111, 128, 129. So our job, what are we missing? We have the 80s, we have the 90s, we're missing the numbers in the hundreds. So for my stem, I'm going to make that a 10. And you can see in the hundreds, I have 101, 109, 109. The 110 is behind the next stem. So I'm going to put a 1. You'll hit a space. I have a 9 for 109, and I have another 9 for the second 109. So I have 101, 109, 109. Okay. The employees at Darnell's Construction monitor the number of cracked window panes in each shipment they receive. So the cracked panes per shipment range from 27 to 88. So this time we only have single digits because we only have numbers in the tens place. We didn't reach the 100s place. So I have 2, 3. So here we got to write a 4 for the numbers that are in the 40s. We have 5, 6, and here I have to put a 7 for the numbers that are in the 70s. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at what numbers are in the 40s. So I have 46, 46, 47, and 48. So I have 4 numbers that are in the 40s. I have a 6 for 46. I have another 6 for 46. I have a 7 for 47. And I have an 8 for 48. I'm done with the 40s now. Now I'm going to look at the numbers in the 70s. I have 1. I have 2 numbers in the 70s, 70 and 72. So my leaves are going to be a 0 and a 2. Again, keeping them nice and lined up because later on you could use a stem and leaf to find all types of statistics. We're at a family reunion. The gardeners recorded everyone's age. So the ages range from 20 years old to 69 years old. 20s are done, the 30s are done. Now next is the 40s and the 50s. So for my 40s, I have a 42, a 44, and a 47. So behind the 40, I'm going to put a 2. I'm going to write a 4. I'm going to write a 7. Remember as you type them in to hit the space bar to put a space in between each of your leaves. For the 50s, I got a 0 for 50. I have a 2 for 52. Again, keeping them lined up. I have a 4 for 54, and I'm going to write a 7 for 57. Now my stem and leaf plot is done. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful for you to get a good grade on your IXL assignment.